Hey guys, welcome back to the video series TFSA. Well, I'll talk about all things TFSA. It's been a while since the last video to this one because I've been working 7 days a week, crazy hours. Another thing is that views hasn't been catching on. I was a bit bummed by it, but I feel that life gotta go on. Let's make another video. So today's video is to talk about do as I say, not as I do. So today I'll be sharing my portfolio with you on what to do and what not to do. Alright, so let's try and keep it short. Okay, so this is my portfolio back in October 2025. Just want to share with you what I had last half, which was all green, all nice, beautiful, and I'll show you what is happening today soon. Okay, so let's talk about the portfolio quickly. I have a hedge, gold. I have gold, which is CJLC, is the hedge against the market, just in case things go to shit. Gold is much more precious compared to the US dollar, which is keep printing and printing. But still, the US dollar is still strong, still needed, right? I would say strong, still needed in today's economy. So let's talk about my core ETFs, which are QQC, VFV, and XEQT. All right, so I have Nasdaq, which is tech, VFV, which is S&P 500, XEQT, which is global. Then what else you see here? VFV and XEI are Canadian ETFs who are monthly dividend paying ETFs, doing very well if you look at their track record, compare against the US ETFs. All right. Then what I did in October is that I ventured into covered call ETFs, which is separating altogether. I'm not going to dive in so much for you because you are a new investor. Hopefully, I think that's what I want my demographics to be, right? To get the young ones or the one that hasn't started to start investing, right? So HSIS and NVHE are covered call ETFs. Looks green as well because I bought it at the very hype of it, but it's gonna go to shit after that. So anyways, so I started my Wealthsimple journey back in November 2024 when I bought some crypto for fun of it, but then I moved into it because I didn't want to do mutual funds anymore with Scotiabank. Their customer service was shit. I want to do things myself. I want to do things now. So of course, November to December, January, it was close to Donald Trump's inauguration for his second term. If you look at his first term, markets were crazy. If you follow him, any stock in his presidential term, in the first one, it goes up. So even this round as well, when he announced Liberation Day tariffs, yeah, everything went to shit for a while. Even my portfolio went to shit from January to April. It was nice. Then it went down. Then it went up. It was amazing. Because I think the companies are doing very well. The AI space is doing very well as well. Everything is green, as you can see here. What I'm trying to tell the new investors, people who are watching today, I want you to build a solid foundation before you start chasing the big guns like Nvidia and all. Because when investing in solid and stable ETFs, every other ETFs are actually already investing in Nvidia. Investing in Nvidia alone is full throttle, right? Okay, it can go to the moon, right? But when it crashes, it crashes more than the ETF. So that you, as a new investor, I don't want you to stay up at night. I want you to be peaceful, right? Because you're putting $100 or $50 aside a month. It's a huge thing for you, right? Because you work for it. You pull back on your spending and entertainment, right? So this investment, right, has already deprived you of some sort of entertainment. It should not make you even more stressed, right? It should give you peace. It should build your confidence into building wealth, right? So that's why you stick with core ETFs or stable ETFs such as QQC. Even QQC is a bit more aggressive because it's just tech, right? VFV is S&P 500 companies in America, top 500. And then XEQT is global, so it's a bit balanced out. So that is how I did it. Build a base for a while. As you can see, no, I don't think you can see it. The average price, so when you keep buying every day, for me, I buy every day, so my average price is quite suppressed. So although market is very high now, so that's why you can see there's a very good return. Alright, let's move on to what it is today. Okay, this is what it is today, right now. I think this is live. So I have some cash position that I added. Because TFSA, you put money into TFSA, it doesn't earn you anything, right? So you have to park it in a short place. So cash.to is like a stock. It gives you monthly interest or dividend, you want to call it. Then you can just sell it anytime, right? Rather than just leaving it there for free. If you just put 10,000 into your TFSA and you're not doing anything with it, that is not job well done. That is stupid as stupid can be. Because if you put it in a savings account, at least you get some interest. But if you put it in a TFSA and it's not doing anything, it's not being bought into stocks, then yeah, you're not doing things right. Anyways, moving forward, let's see how you compare how it was and how it is today. So I got some my goal, which is still there. I expanded my covered call ETFs. Again, not for new investors. I hope that you build a foundation first before you want to dabble into it. All right. There are some changes in the quantity in my call as well, QQC, VFV, because I think I've moved some funds around into spousal RRSP to maximize tax return in order to invest more money when you get the returns, right? VDY has exploded a bit because I've just moved the joint saving with my wife. It was there in her bucket, now it's in my bucket because we're just moving things around. So as you can see, the core ETFs are still green. They are still doing very well. It's not scalable from the last screenshot because I bought and sold a bit. I restructured it a bit. But I want to highlight to you as a new investor, do as I say, not as I do. The do part here is where the covered call ETFs, as you can see, I bought HSIS. I think it was going up very well. Then it went to shit, it went to a high of $14, I think. Then it crashed to $9, $9.50. Then now it's back to 11 because I think the ETFs itself, they changed their position a bit. They added some new companies, or they changed the weight of the holdings that they have. All right, NVHE, as you can see, 10% up today, but in reality, I missed one peak. I thought hey, I can just buy and hold forever. Covered call ETFs are not the same as holding the underlying stock. If it's doing well, cash in, then wait for the thing to drop, then buy again. All right, or when you cash in, put it into your stable ETFs, but not advisable for you now because it takes time to monitor a bit. If you don't want, then just set and forget, right? Put in the money, set and forget on core ETFs so that you do not have the stress of thinking about what your money is doing, all right? Because eventually, if you're doing like this core ETF, as I said, it will grow, all right? That is what I want to do for you, is that you start so that you can grow, all right? Don't go chase a thing and then you break your confidence, you break your belief in investing, then you go back to your old habits, then 5 years down the line, you got no savings at all. All right, but I want to challenge your thinking a bit right here. All right, we want to just test my theory. Okay, test my theory. That's what I'm trying to say. Just laying it all out. Right, it's also a marketing pitch for myself a bit. Okay, so it's been fourth. This will be the fourth video, right? And I've been talking about Wealthsimple because I use Wealthsimple myself. It's easy. You can use Wealthsimple. You can use your own bank to do your trading, but Wealthsimple so far all trading is zero commission. Almost all, right? They say it's 0% commission. Unlike TD Bank, they have fractional trading as well, but only 100 ETFs are free. So if you want to start dabbling into certain ETFs, then you got to pay commission, and pay commission when you buy and sell. All right, so far Wealthsimple, what I buy, what I sell is what I get. There's no fees unless you're buying into US listed ETFs, US listed stocks. Then you have to pay currency charge of 1.5% when you buy and sell, both sides. All right, so that's why I've been using Wealthsimple. Easy so far, no issues. I have coasted with them very well. I know different people have different experience with them, but on a general basis, they are alright. Okay, so yeah, back to my pitch. So if you use my promo code, or use anyone's promo code, but please use mine because you have watched my content and I'm trying to sell this to you. Let's say you are a person who don't have any money to invest at all, but you think like, maybe I want to try, maybe I'm a bit curious about it, so what the heck. So when you use my promo code, right, I get $25 straight up. That's all I get, $25. Unless you put more, then I get more. That's a tier system. As and when you open it, you see it. So I get 25, you get 25. I think you gotta fund at least $1. Alright, so your cost to you right now is your time a bit and $1 that you fund. But please double check. Maybe 1, maybe 5, maybe 10. So your cost could be $1 to $10, all right? Then you get $25, all right? Let's just take that free $25 that you get. Okay, you put it in a very stable, quiet-ish ETF like VDY, who was actually doing very well, right? As I said, it beat S&P 500 past year, 40% up 1 year, 1 year performance. VFV is about 20-ish plus 24, VDY 46-ish. So take that $25, buy a fractional share, just dump all the 25 or the whatever initial money also, put it into VDY, buy all of it in TFSA, then leave it alone because you are not ready to invest. All right, so maybe 3 months down the line, or maybe 1 year, or maybe 6 months down the line, you come back to it, you will see that it has grown. All right, unless the market turmoil is shit, then maybe it goes out. But I can tell you, it will still grow. You will, okay, let's say minimum growth of 5% in 6 months. All right, on top of the 5%, there's also monthly dividend, which is reinvested. I think by default it's reinvested every time. So the $25, you get about a few cents of reinvestment, right? So then you think to yourself, and then you scale this, right, from half a share, because $25 I think is like half a share, 1/3 a share. Then you scale this bigger, then you see, oh, this actually has some value. Then this is where it should encourage you to invest consistently, all right? Start 25 a month, start 50 a month, start 100 a month. Because Canada has been very difficult to live, and it's going to get harder, I believe. So while the government has made things very difficult for you here, especially the newer and younger generations or immigrants as well, but at the other end of things, government has given you tools for you to use so that you can build wealth, to make good decisions. Alright, so instead of spending your energy to just bitch and whine how things are difficult, right? Spend that time and energy, you know, in your work. Then you get maybe more pay, take some extra hours. Then use the energy also to focus into investment that the government has set for you, that is tax sheltered, which is tax free. Whatever you earn is tax free. This is how you help yourself to be better, rather than just whining about how things are difficult. Alright, things will be difficult anyhow anyway, and it's going to get worse as things go, because I myself am a millennial. It's already hard, so I can only imagine for the Gen Zs and whatever comes after, it's harder. You got to work a lot, you don't earn much, everything is so expensive. But if you scale back, budget and invest, I sound like I'm repeating myself many times across all 4 videos, is because it's echoing what I've been talking to some of my fellow Canadians that I met here. Canadians here are not so financially geared, right? A lot of things they don't know. A lot of the things that I'm not good in finances. They say these things, right? So they set a bar on themselves that I'm financially stupid. I'm financially stupid, you know. But you can break out that shell if you start to listen to people who wants to share with you. Hey, get your order, alright? So I got some friends which I got them on the bandwagon. They're doing well, 10-20%, but those I started slightly later, they're doing okay. My recent success story was with a 51-year-old colleague as well. Had TFSA, wants to start TFSA again, so I got him to Wealthsimple. He got 25, I got 25. So he's trying to rebuild. So at 51 years old, of course, the game is a bit different. He has maybe 10 to 20 years-ish of horizon before he retires, depending how things are. So he can't be chasing stock as aggressive as young investors like you, who are hopefully my target audience. My target audience, I hope, are the young Canadians who are trying to figure out how to weather this financial situation, right? So for him, I was saying that not so aggressive, BDY is the way to go. At a bigger chunk, at scale, it pays you more dividend. Younger one, build your confidence, build your foundation, then you look into chasing, investing. Okay, not chasing, don't chase. Look into investing like Nvidia or whatever that's next, right? It could be physical AI, it could be robotics, it could be space, quantum computing. There's a lot to look at. It's very hard to predict, but follow and consistently invest, then you'll be alright, right? Not just say, I got no money, I don't know what's going on. Self-pity. Does self-pity pay your lunch tomorrow? Does self-pity pay your rent tomorrow? No, it doesn't. But taking the first step to start investing does, alright? So I hope that gets into your mind, right? I'm very happy. That's why I'm doing this video again, because my recent success story, I feel motivated again to start sharing stories again, because I know the fight isn't over. I got a few people still in the pipeline who are trying to get them on. I write essays for them, but they're like, yeah, thank you, but nothing happened. No, but outside of YouTube videos, I also text friends, colleagues who wants to. All right, so I do the work for them, tell them what to do, what to invest. Then in return, just use my promo code, right? That's all. Yeah, but so there are some success stories, there are some ghosts, mostly ghosts. But I feel with my recent one, I feel motivated again to get people onto it. That's why finally I set myself down on this Monday morning on the 27th of April. Shit. So it's been a long time since the last video to make another video for you guys. Alright. So if you have any questions, any doubts, or any motivation that you want to start, right, just let me know. Just drop in the comments. All right, if you tried my experiment, right, of getting your free $25 and just putting it into VDY or VFV, come back 6 months later, just comment, hey, I made 50 cents. See, you made 50 cents rather than you self-pity and you have no 50 cents and no $25. All right, so the goal is again to make you start. Just start and things will get better. All right, listen to other content creators, get friends with you that hypes you up to invest together, right? If you get friends, if you are spending time with the wrong clicks, then you're not going to go far, right? So gather with the same thought of people that will move you forward in life, all right? One of it financially, all right? Of course there's some other aspect, but this is the financial side of it. And last thing before I end the video, I would like to say this is not certified professional financial advice. It's something just to open your mind to see what is out there and to share what I've done with my portfolio, right? So again, do as I say, not as I do. Do what I say. Call stable ETFs, and not as I do. Don't dabble so fast into covered call ETFs, underlying stock, single stock ETFs, because we want to build your consistency and you're confident in investing. All right. So that will be all in this video. I hope to see you in the next one, and I hope the audio is right with this one. All right. So see you around.